Everybody has their 10 best, everybody has their 10 worst. And if you're the nostalgia critic, you go one step beyond. Video games are a great pastime, but a lot of times on YouTube, all I see is the best or the worst. So here's a look at the gray area. What are games that are loved and hated at the same time? We like them so much that we just put up with the really bad things about them. I'm kicking off this list with one of the finest titles in the NES library, Mario 3. Great game, played with my younger brother all the time. Totally loved it. One of the best things about this game was the Hammer Brothers suit, because it killed everything. Here, look at it take out Bowser. Bam! You thought you had to wait for him to bust the rocks? No, you just gotta come at him with the Hammer Brothers suit. Unfortunately, therein lies the problem, because the Hammer Brothers suit is actually a rare item. You have to make it through halfway through the ice world just to get it. And on top of that, you can lose it easily in one fell swoop. So you will probably only ever get one or two in the game, and it just makes you hesitant to use it at all. So at the end of the day, the thing is just a tease. Now, if I was to make a list of my top 10 favorite games of all time, Sonic Adventure 2 probably wouldn't make that list. But if I was to make my list of top 10 favorite stages of all time, this would definitely be on that list, or under heavy consideration. It was fun, it was hard but not too hard, and for a Sonic the Hedgehog game, it was intense. I probably played this stage more than the whole rest of the game. Now, I loved this game, but there's just one part of this game that I really had to tolerate. It was the Knuckles level. It was the Rouge level. They killed me. They were annoying. They were tedious. I couldn't stand them. It was like freaking paying taxes to the game. I got the fun part, and then I had to pay my dues. You guys suck. So, back in the day when we had LAN parties, there was one game that definitely got played a lot. That was Dark Forces 2/Jedi Knight. This game was awesome. And when they were advertising it, the one thing they played up was the lightsaber. And it delivered. The lightsaber was tons of fun. You could block with it, it had different slashes. It was a definitely cool addition to the game that made it very memorable. And what's another awesome thing about the game was the cutscenes, live action cutscenes with real actors. That was cool. But what's the thing about this game that got to me? The cutscenes in Mysteries of the Sith, the expansion. It was such a downer. Holy cow. Yes, this here, what you're watching right now, is an actual cutscene in Mysteries of the Sith. They just used in-game graphics back when graphics just weren't yet up to par. Now, I like me some good old-fashioned crazy. When I play this game, I can tell American McGee has something broken inside. Over the years, there's been many retellings of Alice in Wonderland, and this one is the best. Because I'll tell you what, they took something that was already pretty insane and really made it twisted. Yeah, that's right, Tim Burton. eat your heart out. So I really think that the game was just, or the idea was just bigger than what the developers were able to do with the game. Just you take the weapons. The weapons were really great, except for one, the Jax. It's just so overpowered. The game is over by the time you get it. You totally walk through everything, even the Jabberwock, which is supposed to be one of the toughest creatures in this world. But I mean, it's just so powerful, it's just so tempting to use it. But when you do, it ruins the game. And then now, we come to a roast of the Mortal Kombat 2. I like Mortal Kombat 2. Great legacy. And it was kind of nice to change up from Street Fighter 2 sometimes. I liked a lot about it. And it was gory. And it pissed off a lot of overprotective mothers, which needs to be done sometimes. There's just something it just really gets to me. It's just like this itching in the back of my head about this game. And that is just this cookie cutter feel to all the characters. They look different. They got different special moves, but their basic moves are all the same. Their punches are the same. Their kicks are the same. Their roundhouses are the same. The uppercuts are the same. The same. Street Fighter 2, if you pick a different character, you could go from Chun-Li's head stomps to Guile's double sweep to M. Bison's sliding sweep. And now, for the next game, we must delve into the realm of Dungeons and Dragons. I love Dungeons and Dragons, and I love Planescape Torment. It came as a strong contrast to Diablo 1 at the time, and I thought the characters in Torment was a lot more memorable, and especially that character Ignis. Holy cow, that guy is crazy. But anyways, what I liked about it was it had your regular hack and slash, which is mostly what Diablo 1 was, and they have a lot of dialogue between characters, and so it's just each gave a break from the other, and that was cool. I liked it. Going around and talking to characters in the town could just give you an advantage in the dungeons, and vice versa. Unfortunately, this game kind of started to lean too much the opposite way of Diablo later on, where that's all it became. Just walking around, talking to people, at which point it might as well have just been a text-based game, which is boring. The Ninja Gaiden reboot was the best thing that happened to the franchise. I love Ninja Gaiden on the Xbox. I conquered it over and over. On the hardest difficulty, I conquered it over and over. When Ninja Gaiden Black Belt came out, I could not get that game fast enough. Even though it was pretty much the same game, I loved it. Ninja Gaiden 2 came out, I was excited, totally loved it. I didn't get an Xbox 360 right away, so I had to wait a bit to play it. There's also Ninja Gaiden 3, and, well, we don't talk about Ninja Gaiden 3. But Ninja Gaiden 2, when I started it out, it was definitely carrying on the legacy of a great thing. And then I got this game. What is up with this? I don't know. I read about it online. It was called the Texas Armadillo. I can see why they called it the Texas Armadillo. Look at that thing. It is big and it is fiery. And after I beat this monster fair and square, this happened. WTF? I remember when the first StarCraft came out, I had to wait 3 excruciating days before I could finally buy it. But when I did, I saw what all the hype was about, and I was definitely on board. My whole family was on board with it. My extended family was on board with it. We totally loved StarCraft. Logged a lot of hours into it. Personally, I probably logged more hours into StarCraft than I had any other single other game. Great game. Everyone had their race, and mine was the Terrans. Loved the Terrans. Thought they were totally awesome. But there's just something I need to get off my chest about them. While a great unit with the Terrans is the siege tanks, after playing it so many times, you find that the Terrans are married to the siege tanks. And that's because everything else is just so fragile, they have to be supported by siege tanks generally to stand up to just some of the burly units the other races have. And so that's probably my one thing about the game. Fixed it in StarCraft 2, I'm glad they did, but the first StarCraft, it was siege tanks or bust. I have beaten Sonic 3 so many times that I could get all the Chaos Emeralds before Marble Garden. I have beaten it over and over. Even to this day, I will still just up and say every now and again, hey, let's beat Sonic 3 again. So, needless to say, this is easily one of my all-time favorite games. And the Sonic & Knuckles expansion was awesome. I mean, how many games for the Sega Genesis do they have an expansion like this? It was common on PC games, but not the Sega Genesis. And so, that was great. Like, okay, we get to continue on with this great game. And so I sat down, played it, got the Chaos Emeralds like normal, and then this happened. After dealing with all those annoying special stages, those 3D special stages, they make me do it again? Screw that!
I love you, sweetheart. Close your eyes, honey.
I love you, Dad.
Don't look.
No! Oh my God! No! No!
The horror! I cannot unsee the horror! No!
Gordon! Stop! Dad! Oh God! Dad! Dad! Dad, please! Dad! Oh my God! No!
Damn you, Valve! When are we gonna get some closure for this? This isn't over, you hear me?